Please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, North Schuylkill. I'm Doug Wiest.
And I'm Lizzie Andrew-Cabbage.
Playing a sport at a Division I school is not an easy task. According to the NCAA website, there are an estimated 1 million high school athletes playing football. Of those million players, 6.8% continue competing at the collegiate level. Only 2.6% will play Division I football. Having the opportunity to play on one of the 128 FBS teams is definitely an accomplishment, and one of our very own Spartan football players will have that opportunity next year. Senior Aaron Belinsky committed to Syracuse University on June 18th, where he will join the team as a long snapper. Aaron is among a short list of North Schuylkill students who will have competed athletically at the Division I level. Audrey Mastician has more with the future Orange Man in our leading segment.
I'm Audrey Mastician here with Aaron Belinsky. So in addition to regular football practices, what other things have you done?
I've been working with Cole's long snapping coach Casey Casper for about 1.5 years now. He snapped in the NFL, and we work on a strict weekly regimen, video chats, review of snaps, and just to get me a better snapper.
How have you focused on the potential academic demands of a big school?
My main focus was making sure that I'm taking the most challenging classes with the highest weight to prepare me for the rigor of college classes.
So why did you choose Syracuse? What do you like about the program?
I really like that the business program is a highly accredited program, and there's a huge, strong alumni base in the field of the business program that works on Wall Street for internships, which is what I want to do.
What is the trick to a good snap?
The trick to a good snap is just being repetitive and consistent, snapping the way that you would in practice and making sure that you're doing the same thing every time.
Now let's take a look at some of his snaps.
You may have noticed a name repeat on the list of NS alum competing at the Division I level. The name Green is one that's been familiar in Spartan athletics. 2012 graduate Jonathan Bubba Green attended Villanova University, where he played offensive line, and 2014 graduate Carter Green is currently a senior at the University of Virginia, where she competes at track and field. Their younger sister Emma is currently a junior at North Schuylkill. Emma is a member of the track and field and girls basketball, where she's also on her way to similar results. In the News correspondent Drew Mashak has more with Emma.
I'm Drew Mashak with In the News, here with Emma Green. So Emma, what accomplishments have you had so far that are preparing you for a Division I commitment?
Well, I have 2 Schuylkill League championships in discus, and I've placed in shot put both years as well, 9th and 10th grade. And I went to states this past season for discus too.
So does having 2 D1 siblings help you motivate your performance, or does it add more pressure?
It definitely motivates me, just because I don't want to be the least capable of the 3 Green siblings. But there's definitely a lot of pressure to just, trying to live up to what everyone expects. I don't get as much pressure from my family that I do like other people in the community, like always like, oh, your brother and your sister do so well, like, are you gonna do something like that? And sure, I would hope to go to school for track and field, but it's never a guarantee.
And what have you learned about the demands of being an athlete on a Division I level from seeing it in your family and then to you?
Well, I definitely learned that hard work always pays off. You still have to care about school. You can't have bad grades. You're going to have to miss out on a lot of the social things that goes on, like on the weekends. My brother and my sister both trained in Harrisburg every weekend during the week, trying to get where they are now. And I'm also, I train on Sundays, every Sunday, winter, summer, whatever. And I miss a lot of stuff from that, but.
So even though you're only a junior, are there any programs that you're interested in?
I don't want to say that I'm definitely going to these places or I'm definitely going to be doing track and field in college, but I would love to go to University of Virginia like my sister. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's definitely a dream.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Emma.
Yep.
Whether or not you're a great athlete, you still have the opportunity to get into a college by using your head. One area of study that can be utilized in a variety of careers is the application of math skills. If math is your strong suit, you may be interested in a competition coming up soon. Students are already working with Mr. and Mrs. Briggs and Ms. McMullen to plan for the Modeling the Future Challenge. Here's Jake Stever with Mrs. Briggs.
Hey Spartans, I'm here with Mrs. Briggs. So Mrs. Briggs, can you please explain this year's Modeling the Future Challenge?
This year's challenge is looking at autonomous vehicles. There will be a lot of data collection and looking at it from 3 different points of view, from the transportation industry, the insurance industry, and society at large.
Okay, Mrs. Briggs, so what are the steps involved in submitting a model to this year's challenge?
Well, first of all, we need to get interested students working with us. We have 3 students on board so far, but we're looking for more. So if you are in grade 11 or 12 and you are taking or have taken an academic or honors math class in the past or now, you would be eligible to do this challenge. So if you're interested, you need to come see me or Mr. Briggs or Miss McMullen sometime today, Friday, or next week, so we can get you on board. The second step is going to be to start learning about autonomous vehicles. We're going to be looking at how they run, how they work, what the technology is behind them, and where they are as far as being, implemented into the mainstream society. And then we're going to be looking at a lot of data. Transportation industry data, insurance industry data, looking at a lot of things to try to determine how we feel the autonomous vehicles will impact each of those parts. We will be working closely with an actuary from Geisinger. Karina Weichel is our mentor. She's a friend of Mr. Briggs and myself. And we have our first phone conference with her scheduled for Monday. So that's going to be really exciting. We get to really see how actuaries go about their job, which, this is an actuarial challenge.
Robots, drones, self-driving cars. Until now, inspiring pieces of science fiction, but everything is about to change. As autonomous vehicles revolutionize our future, what challenges lie ahead? Will self-driving cars change the way we commute? Will the technology affect our insurance systems? Will the new vehicles change how our communities are designed? You decide. Travel to New York City for the Modeling the Future Symposium. Over $6,500 in educator grants, $55,000 in college scholarships. Start modeling your future today.
www.mtfchallenge.org.
Other than scholarships, what benefits can students get from this experience?
Students are going to get a lot of experience looking at real-world data. This data comes from all different sources, and it's real-time. It's the kind of data that actuaries themselves would be looking at to make some sort of mathematical model to make decisions. They're going to learn a lot about the actuarial field, what it's about. A lot of people who like math, they think that engineering is the only option for them to do anything mathematical, or science, or programming. But there's a whole field called actuarial science where students don't really get a lot of exposure with or experience with, and they don't really know it exists until they get to college and learn about it. It's a very high-paying mathematical field, so it's kind of exciting that we have an opportunity to really work closely with one and find out what it's all about. They're also going to get to learn a lot about what it is to work as a team together, to look at data, to analyze data mathematically, and then how to prepare written reports, because that's ultimately what we do have to submit, is a written report where we show what our mathematical model is.
Okay, so MTF is only for grades 11 through 12. What other competitions, if any, can underclassmen get interested in the math field?
Well, there are actually quite a few this year. Last year we did the AMC 10 and 12 tests. There were quite a few students who were involved in those, and they'll be coming around again sometime in February. So I'll be gathering some interest for those people who are in grades 10 and under, and then 12 and under, to take math tests that they have an opportunity to get some scholarships for. And also right now I'm going to start looking for some 7th and 8th graders who are interested in doing the Math Counts competition, which is a yearly competition that's held at Penn State Schuylkill. We go with a bunch of other Schuylkill County schools, and we're really excited about that. We have Faith Grudy with us, who she's going to do the Math Counts competition again, and she's really excited for her opportunity to show other classes, other schools, what North Schuylkill is all about.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Briggs. Faith, last year's competition, how did it go?
Well, it didn't go so well. We didn't win. A whole bunch of guys won, only one girl. I think the only girl that won was from Weatherly, and majority of the winners were from Pottsville and Blue Mountain, so not great.
Okay, Faith. So this year, how are you guys going to work to improve your scores?
Well, we're going to study really hard, and we're going to make sure that we have the determination to win, and I'm going to come during my prep, since I have the same prep as Mrs. Briggs, and I'm going to start studying because I intend on winning this year.
So any 7th and 8th graders interested in the Math Counts program, come see Mrs. Briggs in room 830.
Make sure you stop out to Spartan Stadium tonight as we take on the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes. Tonight's game is an important one that you won't want to miss. It's our opportunity to continue our undefeated season, but it's also against our biggest rival. We're expecting a large crowd, so get there early. Think Big will be set up at the softball field for a tailgate with food, games, and basket raffles.
This week's behavioral system winner for senior high is Matt Stivers from Mrs. Terry's homeroom.
And for junior high, it's Victoria picked up from Mrs. Colin Jecko.
Please claim your prize in the office.
I'm Lizzie Andrew Cabbage.
And I'm Doug Wiest. Put a little sunshine in your day.
News, yeah. Have a nice Friday, everybody.